going to be a recipe for a healthy cauliflower side dish. I know a lot of you are missing summer produce that we had, but it's time to move into fall and winter. And so today's dish is going to be roasted cauliflower with pine nuts and herbs. We're going to top it with a little bit of lemon, some yogurt, and some spicy hot chili flakes. If you want to turn this side dish into a main dish, all you have to do is add some beans or the protein of your choice. This would be delicious with a rotisserie chicken. The great thing about cauliflower is it is a nice grain-free dish if you are entertaining people who are gluten-free or grain-sensitive. It's a great way to add more produce, but also a little bit of fiber. You guys know I love fiber, but also B vitamins, vitamin C, and vitamin K. So don't just think because the cauliflower is a white vegetable that you're not getting anything out of it. It is in fact one of the healthier options you have. So let me show you how to make this easy dish. It is going to take no time at all and you are absolutely going to love it. So first we're going to break down the cauliflower. Your cauliflower may or may not have the greens that it came with, but all you do is just strip it down until you get to the white part. Once you strip down past the greens, you're going to get to kind of like the spine of the cauliflower. And I just make a few incisions at the base to start to strip away the chunks at the bottom so we can extract it. So this is the core that you're going to remove, and everything else is choppable. Put it into bite-sized pieces, the pieces that you would want to eat off of the pan once we're done roasting it. You can use a knife if your knife skills are kind of not that great. You can honestly just break apart into bite-sized pieces, going bit by bit until you finish the whole head. The smaller you cut the cauliflower, the less your cooking time. If you think about it, if you really want big impact pieces, you could honestly cut this into only a handful of pieces and serve it as like a very powerful statement. Or if you want this to cook in the time we've allotted, which is about 20 minutes, you're gonna want them bite-sized and much smaller. Once all of your cauliflower is done, you're gonna grab a medium to large mixing bowl and just dump it all in there. So with the cauliflower, you're going to add a little bit of olive oil. For all of the exact measurements, you can look at them on the blog, which we'll link below, but you can just eyeball it. I like to use a higher quality olive oil because honestly it does impart a better flavor. And with that, we're gonna use some sea salt. And then just toss to coat everything. Make sure everything is really evenly coated because the olive oil is really going to help it roast and get a nice brown color on it. So any pieces that you were too lazy to coat or you didn't have enough room to, make sure you really go back and get it with the olive oil or it's not going to be as appeasing as the rest of it. So once everything is mixed, you're going to pull out a lift-lined baking sheet. You don't have to line it with tin foil, but honestly, if you're lazier, you can do a lot less cleaning if you have tin foil on it. So you're just gonna go ahead and dump it on. Make sure everything is really nice and spread out because you're gonna want everything to cook evenly. So single layer if possible. And then it goes to the oven. So now we're going to make the base for our plating. This is basically a yogurt mixture that we're going to do with lemon and a little bit of garlic. So we are going to do some Icelandic yogurt. This is Siggi's. Siggi's is honestly my favorite yogurt, period. I used to be really into Greek yogurt, but honestly, this yogurt is so much thicker. The acidity is way less to me. It's just like, this is a staple in our house all the freaking time. So you are going to do about a half cup. Again, depends on the size of your cauliflower. It depends on a lot of things, so just eyeball it. So you can use any lemons. These are actually Meyer lemons. Meyer lemons are a little bit smaller, but to me they are way better in flavor. They're just amazing if you can get your hands on them during fall and winter. They're less acidic, they're sweeter, they just have a really special flavor about them. So Meyer lemons if you can. And I use a little bit of a strainer just to catch the seeds because nobody likes seeds in the bottom of their yogurt. And lastly, we are going to do a little bit of garlic. To peel the garlic, I just smash it down. And honestly, it makes it way easier to peel away that papery skin. And then you're just gonna mince it. And don't be stingy with how much you're mincing it because nobody wants a big chunk of garlic, especially raw garlic like we're doing here, in a bite of their cauliflower. So really make sure you're thorough about slicing. So once everything is in the bowl, just give it a good stir to combine. And just set it aside until your cauliflower is done roasting. So I turn these over once or twice when they were in the oven just to get them crispy and golden on all sides. I also put them under the broiler for a few seconds just to get them extra brown and crispy because it looks beautiful, but also I like that little bit of crisp. So now we're gonna actually go ahead and plate it. So you're gonna take the yogurt sauce we made at the very beginning and we're gonna just put it all along the bottom. If you're plating these individually, you can do this plate by plate, but honestly, all of the cauliflower together is really impactful looking. So I'm going to just dump the yogurt I have and use the back of my spoon and kind of swirl it around and just make sure it's evenly distributed. So this is actually one of my absolute favorite spatulas to use. I think we bought this on maybe Amazon and it was maybe $15, but it has been amazing. So it's a single piece of steel and it is really easy for scooping in kind of tight areas with a lipped pan. So I'm just gonna go ahead and deposit all of the cauliflower on top of that yogurt sauce. The very last part of this recipe is the topping. The herbs that go on top, which are mint and cilantro, are really impactful. I just went outside and I picked some fresh I picked some fresh mint from our garden outside. If you think you have a black thumb, anyone can grow mint. So seriously, just get a pot of it and make sure it's in a pot or it will spread, but you can use it for a lot of things. So I've got cilantro and I've got some fresh mint. I'm just gonna chop those up to put on top. So before I put the herbs on top, I also wanna go ahead and just toss this. I found that we've cooked this recipe a few times and really having everything coated in the yogurt sauce makes it just all of it so good. You don't have to put it together really. So if you are serving it in one big dish instead of the single dishes, go ahead and mix that part together now. And then go ahead and top it with your herbs. And then we're gonna do a sprinkle of pine nuts. Okay, so I haven't bought pine nuts in quite some time, so be prepared for a little bit of sticker shock. We were joking that this should really be called Millionaire's Cauliflower because for maybe like a cup's worth of pine nuts at our store, we spent about $8, but they make a huge difference in the recipe for texture and nuttiness. And then the very last part is a sprinkle of hot pepper flakes. And I'm not a spicy person, like mild salsa is too much for me, but this really helps round out the dish and make it robust and add just a little bit of spice. So that is it for today's recipe. I hope you guys learned a new way to make cauliflower that you're going to be willing to try. Join me next week for a new recipe and let me know in the comments below what your favorite way is to eat cauliflower. I'll see you guys next time.